All right. Once again, I believe today, let me move this microphone in the correct way. It seems too far. There we go. Check. Microphone. Check. Checking my monitor. Sending data. Facebook online. YouTube online. Twitch trying its best to get online. Come on, Twitch. You can do it. Just put your back into it. Drove downtown in the rain. 9:30 on a Tuesday night. Oops. Just to check out the late night record shops. Okay, yeah, that's right. Okay, stream quality is good, it says. According to my Twitch, I am... Okay, it's working. All right, I think everything's working. Close you. Close this. Oh, I forgot to double check to see if my drawing screen is proper. Ah, well, we'll fix that on the fly. As long as the stream is actually working. The stream is working today, right? Microphone? Microphone check. 1 2 1 2. This is just a test. With a Patty Prue? Yeah, he's on the crew. He's a stream robot, and he knows what to do. He's got a laser beam that'll shoot at you if you decide to throw hate crimes in the chat room, dude. Move my buttons around. Hey, Ripley. Hey, sweetest angel. I don't like how everything seems to jump to its loop, but more things to figure out. I think we're good to go. I think we're good to go. Let me try this. Bang. Hey. Still too much headroom. Too much headroom. Kind of like when the thing was down there and everything was okay. Anyway. All right. And I'm going to try without the drawing table. First, you know what I'm going to do? Oh my god. Where's my mouse? There's my mouse. I'm going to try and get the camera synced up. There we go. That's a good idea, right? Yeah, that's a good idea. Hey, did you know that at blacklivesmatter.com you could also, aside from donating money and reading articles about how lives matter and whatnot, you could buy things like masks and shirts and armbands, all kinds of crazy stuff that say like freedom and Black Lives Matter and inspiring things. Yeah. Fully aware where you're spending my money, and for once, it's great. It's great, and that's fine. So I mean, you know, where's your mask? I mean, where's your mask? It just seems weird that I'm over here being supportive and great, and you're like, oh, maybe I just won't be great in this way today. We already tried to do this yesterday, and again, your effort's my effort. Let's just start the thing.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
And tell your hot mom.
Hot mom.
There's no such thing as grownups.com.
The joy of drawing things with me for my mom. Hello. Here we go again. Let's do this. Did a bunch of things that I think make everything work better. One of the great magical things about working at Streamlabs while trying to use Streamlabs OBS to stream with is, hey guys, I know you're at work. I'm at work. We're all working at Streamlabs. I had some weird things happen when I streamed last night. Aside from Restream, was it just because of the connection issue with those guys, or is there something we should fix here? Because that's what this thread is for, and the Slack is specifically Mac OBS when stuff is getting whack. And they were like, yeah, of course, like just send over this and do that. And then when I went to open it up, I'm just like, I don't have any problems anymore. Close it, open it again. Smooth as butter. Let's do it 5 more times and see what's going on here. And it's just like, hey guys, you're magic. You're magic. Whatever you fixed for other people, I guess it also fixed whatever problems I was having. So, Streamlabs, OBS. They pay my bills and they help me make a weird internet TV show. As per usual, my name is Curtis. And of course, there's Milo over here and running all of this stuff. She tried her best yesterday. She always does. But Ripley, the sweetest angel in the world. Meow, 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 meow. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Nothing's your fault. You're always the best. And I will always say that no matter what happens. In that way, that's how I understand parenting and how parents feel when they are just like, yeah, I know I'm raising my son to be a maniac who's racist and steals things and just causes trouble for no reason whatsoever. But what am I going to do? Some parenting? Like, no deal. He'll make his own way in the world today and take a break at Cheers, I guess. Hey, something about parenting that is funny is I was talking to your mom on the phone. And don't talk to my mom on the phone. Anyway, sorry. Ripley? Hey, wrong camera. Ripley, over here. Excuse me? Yeah, thanks. I do not find you a sweet angel. And I mentioned to my mom that, hey, you know what I think is the main problem with the world? Parents. I think it's parents. And my mom, who is my parent, who is your parent, your mom. Oh my god, I keep forgetting who is talking. She just straight up agreed. Like, yeah, parents are the worst. Yeah. Forgot who was talking. And sometimes you gotta play a good old-fashioned game. No, I'm not coming to plant your garden for you, Matt. Oh, man. You and your gardens. You probably got it all mostly planted by now. Knowing you and your crazy yard work ethic. But yeah, today... Okay, forgot I was going to check this. And I got to click on my flash. And boop. And boop. I'll expose you. I don't need yard work exposure. Oh no! I just turned my tablet off. All right, and that's why. Is it gonna pick the screen back up again? That's why we use the drawing table. Oh, good. Okay, if I can get it. There we go. Everything's normal there. And then we just got to go back over here. Window capture. Stream doodles. Bang, stream doodles. And then I should be able to grab this. And where's my timeline? Okay, back to normal. Technical problems. That wasn't even a technical problem. That was straight up just a me problem. And sometimes I'm just not good at doing things. But I've been spending a lot of time getting, things set up where I'm like, okay, let's go back to having the 3-camera or the 2-camera setup because that's somewhat more interesting. And that way it gives me a chance to talk to this camera without looking at myself in the monitor. And, it's way too insane and narcissistic to always be looking at yourself while you're talking. But yeah, that's what I did. This camera's out of sync. Oh, it just rebuffered. Okay, cool. Doing it on its own. Streamlabs. Oh, that's my voice cracking. Sound is way off. Format. It looks like it's on for me. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Double checked everything, got it all running smooth now. But I'll watch it back later and see how terrible it is. Maybe I'll try looking at the right camera. Maybe I'll try looking at the right camera. Oh, this headroom's gonna drive me nuts. 62 milliseconds off. Why? Why? Oh, why? I wonder if I do this. Oh, come on. Just pick the right window. Wow, that's bright. All right, that explains why those cameras looked so different yesterday, because I had them on different settings. I'm gonna go to this camera. Hey, but I'll look over here, and let's lower the resolution a bit. And select. All right, this is throwing everything off. Just live editing everything, and close enough. Close enough, right? Hey, and let's just rebuffer. I'm gonna go back to this camera. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it'll speed back up. Maybe it'll catch up now that it's wow crazy bright. Have a good night, Matt. Have a good night. Good luck planting all the things and doing all the things. So today, I was going to draw something, and then this cushion isn't helping. I thought. It's too white. It's too white. It's too white. There's only so much that I can do with the scope of things that I can do. God knows I'm not going out in the world. I should say that I'm not just taking stuff from the Black Lives Matter website and saying, hey, you guys should do it. I actually did send some money that way so that I'm not a complete monster. Not looking for any credit, just letting you know I'm not just saying like, hey, go do something without doing it myself. So yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy out there. Like, have you seen the internet? It's a privilege. It's an absolute privilege to be able to just look at the internet and go, oh my God, racism is crazy, instead of, every day being bombarded by it. I do remember, in, oh God, this was 1,000 years ago, so long ago, in my immaculate, just unknowingness of anything. If I turn off that light, this will get better, for the love of fun. All right, Ripley, let's look at you for 2 seconds. Oh, look at you go with your little blinks. I don't know why your loop keeps restarting, but let's try it without this light. Oh, that already feels better. Ripley and her iPad of fun, controlling everything for everyone. She's a little purple and she's got little boobs, and she's kicking out all kinds of noobs. All right, let's go back to me. Slight difference. Slight difference. Another thing that I'll work on later. I do know some ways to adjust this already. But anyway, yeah. In my ignorance, for 1,000 years of ignorance, because I'm 1,000. I remember like asking this animator once, basically like, or not even asking, like just having a conversation about the world or something, and being that ignorant idiot that's like, oh, but like, now that you live here in this town, where, I don't know, I guess I thought it wasn't super racist, and you spend most of your day just drawing cartoons, and then you go home and play video games or whatever, magic cards with people. I don't know. Regular animator nerd stuff. And she was just like, oh, Curtis, no. No, I still have to deal with racism every single day, even just between go from home to the office, like, and it's only, like a 5 minute walk. Like, every single day there is something that is just not right every day. And it's just like, oh yeah, that makes sense. People are crazy, people are terrible. And now that the internet is just showing every day, again, the volume of people that are just like, let me get right up in your camera and say, like, Mr. Trump's gonna get rid of you guys. Like, when Mr. Trump finally, when he's done with this, like, you won't even be here. Like, it's the future, guys. It's the full-blown future. Like it's the future now. I can't even say anything else, but it's 2020. So, this is like Star Trek times. Like, we're supposed to just fully be over stuff like that by now. Like, it's just like, I thought, maybe, for an Obama presidential period of time, I genuinely started to think, like, hey, maybe most of us are all in the same boat ish now, because racism is kind of like, it's not tolerated, so we're all just trying to prove ourselves as what we are, right? Like the closest thing I can really compare to is just like, hey, I'm an artist, believe me, and don't mock me for being an artist. And then there was a I want to say rally, protest, whatever, down the street here. I didn't go, but I watched a bunch of it on Instagram, and this lady Tracy was like, just giving this heartfelt speech that, a lot of it was like, oh my God, like, yeah, this stuff is getting out of hand and it's crazy and people are abusing their power, but like going down to like the most minusculest thing, as simple as like, I cut myself. Let me just remind myself that I'm not part of this culture and put a Band-Aid on, and they're still calling peach or whatever flesh color when there's more than one flesh color. It's just like, there's just those things that are just like, can we be included? Can we not be murdered in our bed? And all of those things of just like, oh, if you didn't break the law, like, nothing bad would happen. Like, I can't sleep any more innocently than this and still not get murdered in my bed for being different. And it is just amazing. I don't know, like, again, like, my old house was between a reserve and another reserve, and every time I stopped and talked to indigenous native people, I was never like, so, like, as a native person, like, you're like this, right? Or what about this thing? But I'd see it all the time, like, when tourists would come through and whatever, and they just, like, say some weird little thing to the lady at the store, and it's just like, what year is it, guy? What year is it? What are you talking about? You're from around here. This isn't a new thing. And that lady at the laundromat that I thought was saying, like, hey, wouldn't it be great if if everybody could just treat the reserve like it was a nice community, like it is. Like, ours is a nice community here. And I'm like, okay, I agree. I'm going to agree with you, and I'm going to assume this is not going to turn racist, old lady, and we'll be on the same side for this conversation while I fold my clothes, right? And no is the answer, because what she was actually saying was like, hey, if everybody could just treat the natives on this particular reserve like white people, like I do, and they could take down all the signs that say, like, this is a native area, then it could just be normal like everywhere else, and they wouldn't be treated so harshly like those bad ones. Like the what now? Like the bad ones out west that are like blocking people from getting to their jobs and blocking trains and stopping oil pipelines. Like, those guys are bad. Like, What? No, that they're trying to have drinking water and be alive and not have. What? What are you talking about? What's happening right now? Like, oh, you think the whitest people that you've met of this particular race are cool, and then everyone else is, oh my god, like, please stop talking. And I believe I was wearing a mask at the time, and I was definitely having like a mild nervous breakdown. And instead of really doing anything, I just kept kind of muttering, like, just stop, let's stop talking now. God, this isn't, no, this is racist. And I'm just like, I don't know why I think that while I'm within this little mask, that I'm like, I'll just say things and it'll make it okay. She can't hear whose mouth it's coming from, even though she's the one who's saying horrible things. But it's so hard to tell an old lady, like, oh my God, do you know how horrible this is? This is wicked horrible, lady. Super wicked horrible. Maybe don't be horrible? And that's mean to say to people, even though they're being horrible. And that's the world we live in. Trying to wear a mask to protect other people from the spit that you're carrying around from interacting with other people has you know, again, on another level, made this Sneetches with the stars on their bellies and the ones without, and a bunch of them hate us for wearing masks. So much so that the lady at the grocery store was like, oh, like she fully gave me the look. She didn't say it. She, you know, gave me the like all right character from CS, not CSI, from Law and Order. Yeah, I'm still wearing a mask. Still wearing a mask. Still wearing masks. That's what's happening. And I said it out loud. I answered her eye roll out loud. I know I haven't started drawing anything yet. But I think we'll do some Green Lantern today. I kind of want to do a non-drawing, that like the Batman that was on my Instagram there, is when I really want to draw something, but I don't feel like drawing, so I just start making straight lines till it becomes a thing. So we're gonna make some straight lines and make a Green Lantern and see what happens. Kind of a stylized thing. But yeah, so she said that, and I was like, or yeah, so she answered me with, well, unless you're coming from, I want to say Hudang. I don't remember. She definitely said the right Chinese, Vietnamese state, city, something. And she's like, unless you're coming straight from Hudang, you know, there's really no point in wearing a mask. Like, that's what my manager said. And it wasn't until, like, Wuhan. That sounds more correct. So maybe she did say Hudang in a racist way. I don't know, because that's what's resonating in my head. There was a dang in it, I feel like. And it was, you know, pretty close to a dong. The auto-generated captions on Facebook are spot on. You may get back to your Oh, you may get back. I thought it was like the auto-generated text is somehow going to get to the mask story before me, but carry on is what you're saying. So Pat is reading along, but yeah. So I answered her. So she said that she's like, unless you've come straight from there, there's no point in wearing a mask. Like, no. In case I've walked by anybody with stuff, people are constantly coming and going from Halifax. There's still new cases every once in a while, which mean there's still new cases. And even if there's not new cases in this province, there's still new cases in other provinces. And all it takes is one well-knowing doctor to go get his kid and bring it back. And that was the crux of my conversation with my mom, not Milo's. I guess it's still Milo's mom, about like the problem is parents. A lot of times parents are like, hey, my kid, blank. I need this for my kid, or I have to do this for my kid, or my kid is over here, blah, 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 my kid. There's 1,000 movies about, the perseverance of the parent to save the child. And that's great, except in this case, you guys were in two separate provinces, and what was best for the child was to not not infect 40 people. But instead of saying, hey, parents, calm down with your parental overrightedness of yourself, instead of that, the internet was flooded with, hey, that guy's not white. Let's send him back to a country. Let's kneel on his neck. And what? What? You're writing this to be saved into the world? Who would even do that? I have a hard time drawing a picture I think is fun and putting out there that is 100% harmless, not a subversive weird cat. Calm down. But just like a whatever, like I drew a thing. How dare I put it out into the world? Like, isn't somebody going to be upset or offended by this? And people are willing to go like, yeah, whatever. One of my students, back when I had students 1,000 years ago, he's a grown up in the world with a kid or two, and he posted. I don't even know what he posted, but he's just like, hey, so there's this guy, and it showed like his response, like, oh yeah, I guess you would be one of those blank loving blank suckers, and you're a blank sucker. So there you go. And it's just like, what's wrong with blank sucking? What's wrong with those blank people? Why do I have to say blank all the time? Hey, Adita. Adita, Adita, Adita. It's the power of knowing 01D that you can. Hey, follow me. Wow, I don't know why the sound played like that, but I got the sound working again. It instead apparently goes da, 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 da. But I made those sounds a long time ago. Don't remember how. Oh, snaps. So anyway, the mask lady says, you don't need a mask unless those things. And I'm like, no. It's to keep me from spreading stuff to you. That's how it works. We're all a team. And she was like, well, whatever. Honestly, like, if God wants me, he'll take me when he's going to take me anyway. I'm going to go over here. So within this logic stream that you've created, old lady, you're saying that God already has decided when I'm going to die and he'll come get me then. For whatever reason. But here's the thing. Here we got this thing over here, and it might kill you. Like, yep. So if God wants this to be the thing that kill me, to kill me, then I'm just gonna, with open arms, just come get me. Smite this if you want. I don't know. Do you think this is smiteable, G's? Huh? Do I look smiteable today? I was feeling pretty smiteable. I told this young fella about it that I could go for a good smiting, but I still want to live forever as well, and I like my job and my friends, but if you got to get your smite on, right here. I'm the smitingest smitey girl that can be smited. Nikki Wordsworth. With a studio, with a cartoon cat. Oh, Nikki. Oh, Nikki, you're insane. Oh my God. So anyway, she says that like there's no point and God's gonna get me, and as I walk away, I say that's a terrible way to think. And the crazy thing is, I felt insanely guilty about that for like hours. For hours, like, oh my God, like I just told an old lady the way she thinks is a terrible, terrible way to think. Oh, why isn't that? That's because you're a terrible person. Oh my God, you're so mean. To old lady? It was an old lady. Like, you're just going to be like, hey, excuse me, old lady. Do you want to die? Is that what you're saying? No. Oh, no. No. I was saying, Nikki has Facebook. Oh man, and Nikki's on Instagram now. Nudesworth, something like that. Noods Worth. Fantastic, fun drawing, fun. But no, I felt terrible. But hey, there's always something to take the sting off terrible stuff, is there not? Did you see crazy people? Did nutty crazy people do things because they're probably super high on drugs at the grocery store? Is that what you're talking about? Please tell me. Please tell me the story of people just being silly because they're so high on all the pills and or just regular cool drugs that you get at the regular store. Yes. So on my way in or out of the grocery store, either way, it brightened the whole day. Again, I'm still masked up, and the odd person is masked up, and we're like, yeah, there's a thing going on, and also there's racism and stuff. Let's be nice to each other. So a lady, again, another oldish lady, has got, this is me miming, a big bouquet of flowers. They're like wrapped in paper, so you gotta like, ooh, what's in there? Like people do when somebody sees a baby. Let me look at your baby. Get away from me. Put a mask on. I guess I can draw and do this at the same time. So, old lady comes out, and just off to the side, there's a young couple with a cart, and I'm gonna say the boyfriend husband seems mildly out of it, a little bit, just kind of half asleep, barely there. And I'm like, all right, whatever's happening here, I don't know. But you don't have to wonder long in the realm of man here on I don't know, lower Earth. Dude, let's go over the cart, and walks over to the old lady, and it's just like, are those flowers? Are those flowers in there? Are those flowers? And the old lady's like, yeah. Like, pulling the flowers in. Like, please don't come at me, weird, sketchy white guy. And I don't know, maybe 2 parts of hilarious, 1 part horror. Well, he's all like, oh, wow, look, flowers. Like, that's cool. Like, you got flowers? The cart just like we're on the edge of the, the edge of the grocery store. So the cart just rolls out into like traffic. It's just, there you go. I'm going to go have a baby stay out adventure over here. And he is 2,000% oblivious. I just spit all over my screen. The girlfriend, also semi-oblivious, is like looking at him like, what are you doing? Going up to the cart. She's like running after the cart because she's also fairly little and short legs. So she's like, cartoonedly going after this cart, grabs it, is pulling it back, looking at him like, what is going on with this guy? He's going to marry this old lady? The old lady's like, oh my God. He like peeks in at the flowers, like, these are beautiful flowers. These are beautiful flowers, like dunking his face in while she's like trying to shield herself with flowers, like a Grand Theft Auto character or Dead Rising character. And that was entertaining. That took the sting out of the old dumb lady. And once again, in that I walked away. I just walked away. Didn't stick around for any kind of aftermath. I thought I changed the color of this text so it would show up when I had the white thing on the screen. Okay, moving it that way doesn't do anything. Oh, it's just icon. Never mind. I guess I did fix it. I'm a genius. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Alright, let's stick with that shape for now. Oh, and speaking of being furious in the world, because, I skipped the stream last week, and I need it. I need it so bad. Because it was Tuesday, and then honestly for the whole week, I'm just like, I don't understand what's going on. I kind of don't necessarily understand the blackout thing. Seems like the let's spread information thing is doing better than let's all just stop. And then a bunch of posts after that saying, anyway, while you're doing the black square, continue to mention that Black Lives Matter and donate to these places and remind people that we're not just a black square society. So I both was just like, I'm not going to not do it, but I don't know, this is solidarity with somebody, I'm gonna assume this was some white person's idea. Um, so I didn't, but it's like I still want to do stuff, but it's just the old nobody needs the more perspectives from a standard white guy, like the guy that people would bring with them to say, "This is what I meant by a white guy." Here's the perfect example of white guy. See, you can tell by the beard with a little bit of gray in it, and then the glasses. And I should tell you, he has more than one pair of glasses and a little holster, not a holster, a little rack to put the glasses on. He's got a glasses rack for his different kinds of glasses. So yeah, he's that white. He's that white. So that's my example. And thanks. True, fully true. I remember this one time. Met this guy, and don't want to just straight lines, and like just beyond amazing. Like again, in the world where I don't meet a whole lot of different people who are different, and or when I do, it's usually while you're just doing stuff and differentness doesn't come up, unless there's like some jerk that's like, hey, so you being this other different thing, like this must be an experience for you. Like, no, I'm from here. I'm just a different color. Thanks for pointing out that you're racist. I didn't need to know that. So a lot of times you just don't have those conversations of like, hey, tell me your hardships of the week. I bet you've had plenty. And this dude, again, this was a half a thousand years ago, a long time ago, galaxy not so far away. And it was like a birthday party, and he was like a neighbor of the people having the birthday party, whatever it was. And it was just as a matter of fact, he was just like, oh, by the way, like, yeah, had to go down to like Home Depot, and it's just hard. Like you wouldn't know. And like again, my greatest race experiences is just like having this one guy be like, because you're like the whitest cracker in the box, and I'm like, yes sir, I sure am. And you seem infinitely amazing, even though I'm pretty sure like you're half my age, and somehow you've probably lived twice the amount of life. So, and he just, as a matter of factly, was just like, yeah, I can't just go to the hardware store and get something. Like, that's not like, look at me. Like, I'm a big dude, and white people are terrified. He's like, you've met me, like, you think I'm a nice guy. I was like, yeah, you seem awesome and super fun. He was like, but if I was just standing off to the side looking like I wanted something, I'd be terrifying. I'm like, I don't know. I feel like you'd be like, hey, that guy looks like he needs something. I don't know. And he's like, yeah, like, no, that will be great. But for me, it is like, if I do say like, hey, can I get some help over here? People wonder like, oh, this guy's got a problem. We have to deal with him because I'm a big scary guy. And absolutely not a scary guy by any means. He was just a big guy. And I was just like, again, just that like eye-opening of like, oh yeah, I keep forgetting that even though most people, as somebody who's afraid of everybody and everything all the time, I keep forgetting there's a bunch of people that are just like, oh, my radar just went off to look out for this guy. Like, no, I'm usually mostly just looking out for white people because they're the ones, trying to scam me with stuff. Where did my background just pop in? But just stuff like that where it's like, oh yeah, I never think about the fact that you can't just do regular things without some sort of like, again, like the old timey days. Like I remember, I can't remember what the name of the book was called, but a book about apartheid and stuff like that, and how like you need to have your papers with you because you're just not legally allowed to be out and a human, and you can be arrested. And again, most of the laws that we have are just leftovers from a bunch of things that were made so that when slavery was over, we could still like, hey, look at you out here trying to be a free person. That's against the law. Now go break rocks. Like, am I? Isn't this slavery again? Like, no, this is different. Now you're just being punished for being a criminal. Like, no, I think that no, maybe 100 years from now, everything will change, and it's still not, and it's still not. Oops. Oh yeah, I was about to talk about being angry for me, for once. But yeah, just being so angry all week long already, where it's like, I would love to just scream at somebody. It'd be great to just scream at somebody right now. Because I don't do that anymore. Where I go on the internet and be like, here's what I actually think. Facebook justice coming down on you, brother. Remember when Hulk Hogan was the American dream? Now he's the American racist. So went to the Walmart to get a few things, and driving in my car, my little Honda Fit, very little car. No need to compensate for anything. Just a nice little car. Everything's cool. Not trying to prove that I'm better than anybody. Come down around, and you know that right in front of the doors, there's like the doors to the Walmart, and for God knows how long, big giant crosswalk area where everybody knows this is where people are going to be crossing pretty much all the time, and maybe don't drive through here as if there's not people here. Always assume somebody's going to be coming through here. Take your time, and I don't know, if there's a car stopped at the crosswalk, maybe, just maybe, it's safe to assume that it's letting some people cross the street. Maybe that's a thing to assume. So I get to that to that crosswalk. I'm stopped, and mostly I'm just amazed. Like, what's going on? Like, Walmart probably has the most mask use of anywhere I've been, and at this point, it's just like none of these people have masks, and it was just like a gang of old people, like the little very white-haired, very little old people that are just like shuffling as fast and or as slow as they care to, and I'm just like, yep, this is fine. I got nowhere to be. This is what I came to do. I'm not going to run through a bunch of old people, and I don't feel the urge to scream right now. Everything's wicked cool. And behind me, actually, I don't notice even there's a car behind me. I'm just sitting there waiting, like do. There's a bunch of other people besides this gang of old people. There's still like another like 7 people on top of that, like maybe 9 or 12 people total coming across within this 1 minute time span. And all of a sudden there's a car right beside me, and it's not like a 4-lane or a 3-lane. It's just a 2-lane. Maybe there's enough room on the side to pull over, even though I don't really agree with that. But people are always pulled over on the side. My 4-ways are not on. My blinkers are not on. I think, clearly stopped at an intersection. Again, tiny little Honda Fit. You can easily see around and through, and there's no reason you couldn't see all the people that are coming across. There's just no reason. So I my peripherals are just like spider sense goes off, like what, and the car's like, kind of inching by and then still trying to like slowly edging in front of me, but their windows at this point are like, this far away. Like they're pretty close. They're just not that far away at all. Oh my god. Did you scream at those people? Did you scream at those people? You didn't scream Black Lives Matter, because that definitely would not have been the place to scream Black Lives Matter, but did you scream at those people, maybe? Maybe. I'm just there, and it's like, at this point, it's like, now he's edging into a crosswalk around me, and my windows are up, their windows are down, and I don't know. It's hard to remember things, and I almost never crystallize all of my thoughts into story form for later, but I might have screamed, what in the F? What in F's name do you think you're doing? What in F's name do you think you're doing? I might have screamed as loud as humanly possible. New shirts. There's a little ad, just some transparent designs and stuff at society6.com. Let's pop up. Added that. I screamed that at humans. And yeah. I was hoping that they could hear me. I was kind of hoping, get out of your car and fight me. I know I can't fight and I'm just going to get beat up, but maybe I need that right now. I don't know. I'm making a terrible decision right now, but I'm pretty sure that screaming at you is still better than driving through a bunch of old people. And he didn't stop. He never once stopped. It was just like, are you trying to force your way through old people? But very slowly, but still just like, what's going on? So I screamed that, and it's just like, I didn't notice any reaction from anybody. Honda Fit's a real great car. Honda, if you want to send me money, or I don't know, brake coupons, that would be amazing. But maybe it insulated the sound. Maybe they did hear me. So they managed to like slowly snake their way through all these people that are just like, what is going on? And it's like, I'm going to guess a husband and wife in the car, and they get through. Immediately after they get through, like the people finish passing, and I pull up right behind them. And in my head, part of me wanted to desperately just like, we're going to play a little bit of a mind game, guys. And that game is, I'm going to park exactly where you park so that you can see that the car that you wedged around and that might have screamed at you, what do you think you're doing, was doing the exact same thing that you were doing, and you just cut somebody off and drove through an intersection. I'm a psychopath. Whatever. Hey. So then what happened? I'm on the edge of my footstool over here. Hey, side note, where are the F of my stool? I had a stool that was real nice. You could see my tail flapping around, and that was a nice animation that was done, but now I'm just on a footstool. Like, footstool, excuse me, sir. Some equality is not happening. Your chair reclines. Yeah. In the rearranging of the room and getting the wires, so it's like now I can actually get up and move around without everything being so claustrophobic. It kind of started to seem a little bit insane to arrange a room for furniture that isn't there. So like, I have to save this space for furniture that doesn't exist, and that's crazy. And even more so, move the things out of the way for imaginary furniture. So why not just sit you on some real furniture? Yeah, I should add a shadow. I should definitely add a shadow, but that's neither here nor there. So I go up right behind them. They pull into a parking spot. I want to believe that they looked and saw that I was pulling into the next parking spot, so they pulled through, or they pulled out and then backed back in, or whatever. They managed to wedge around so that they were like on the next aisle over from me when I pulled in. And I get out of the car, and I slowly walk away, or walk down the aisle, and maybe I looked at them. Maybe I looked at them to see, like, what is going on? You were in a big hurry. This is all in my head. You were in a big hurry, but now you're just chilling out in your car. Why are you just chilling out in your car after being in such a big hurry? Maybe kind of hoping that they did get out at the same time so I can go, hey, don't seem to be in such a big hurry anymore, risking getting my face smashed in. But I didn't, of course. I didn't. I don't know what Green Lantern looks like. Pictures on my phone, but that's where my buttons are. Green Lantern, where's your reference image now? Under the crazy flower, your iCloud storage is always full. John Stewart, what do you know? John Stewart, where do you go? John Stewart. So, that's a red lantern, Patrick. That's a red lantern. Don't even. Don't even. The wrath. Oh, the wrath. That could be wrath upon ye. So I walk by. As I walk by, I want to say distinctly hear the wife, because their windows are down still, the wife just being like, and a man voice very distinctly going, I didn't know, I was unaware. He didn't say I was unaware, but how was I supposed to know? Like, the call of the jerk. How was I supposed to know? And, Captain Narcissism over here. I'm like, they have to be talking about the fact that I just screamed at them. And, I didn't know what crosswalks were for? Then I'm sorry, I'm taking your license away. You failed. But they sat there, and I want to assume that they were waiting for me. That doesn't look like muscle. I'll leave it like this. So that they could then walk by. I get a few paces past and realize, I'm still wearing my sunglasses. Gotta switch to my other glasses so I can see things proper-wise in the store. So I walk back to my car, get my glasses, put them back on, and maybe again, a little bit of mind games. If they are waiting for me to go past, I want to keep them in their car for another minute, just for the fun of it. Diet Coke. And the other thing I could think, though, is, poop. I believe that the kind of person that would cut me off and force their way through a crosswalk full of old people is also the same kind of person that would be like, oh, honey, when did you say you get a haircut again? Because, your hair, like, it just makes you look so fat. No, I mean, like, I thought that's the thing that we were saying. Oh, I didn't know. I didn't realize you were offended by me saying terrible things. I didn't realize. I'm just saying that your hair is making you look fat this whole month. Your friends didn't say anything? I thought that they did. Susan's been talking about it. Yeah, I talked to Susan. No, nothing's going on with Susan. Oh my God, no. I didn't know. So I could see that that's also a possibility, and it had nothing to do with me screaming at them from my car. But either way. He deserves whatever anguished yelling that he's got that day. John Stewart, not that one. He's the one with the crazy green gun. Comes out of his finger with magic power. He just needs confidence and imagination. Imagination. Hey, maybe I wrote something down. Oh, there's a new podcast. I only listened to the first episode so far because my iTunes podcast app keeps going, I'm sorry, this podcast is unavailable. Why? It's right there. The only thing that you do is play podcasts. That's the only thing you do. If you're showing me that it's there, then it's there. Now play. Sorry. All of the podcasts are unavailable for some reason. Like, okay, thanks. So Spotify podcasts are where I'm drifting, and I'm tempted to start giving that thing my money. Because man, oh man, Spotify ads are so loud. But on Instagram, she's called Insufferable Muppet. I believe, yeah, her real name is Allie. I finally know from listening to the podcast. I've met her in real life. She was like one of the first people, probably the first person to buy some of my Sexy Dinosaur shirts. And she ordered some online, so her and her husband are just like, check it out, matching shirts. And that's been on my Instagram. If not a post, at least in the stories. Nope, don't bend. Straight lines. Those are my rules. Anyway, it's called Honey, Clear My Search History, where in the run of the day, so far they didn't say what the husband does. I can't remember his name. Really easy to remember. But whatever they do, they end up Googling things a lot. So kind of at the end of the week or within the context of the podcast, they basically discuss like, hey, here's the weird things I looked up this week. And here's the things I went and did some more research on to see what the deal is with this. Yeah, let's go with that. And so far, pretty funny and interesting. And it's like, I don't know, down the street from here somewhere. I thought it was going to be completely like, honey, clear my search history. And here's like the really weird stuff. But it's like, oh no, it's mostly just really interesting things. And it was a good time. Yeah, let's go with that. Genuinely trying to think of some stuff that I learned on that from that podcast. I can't think of anything. I feel like there was something about cannibals in there. I don't know. Anyway, something else. Oh, yeah. Okay. I've been meaning to mention this like forever. Space Goonie might be the only one that knows what I'm talking about. And Pat, possibly. But watching the Game Grumps for a while, and somewhere around the same time as everything kind of being shut down, I watched an episode or watched one of the things where Aaron mentions that you know, blah blah blah, as a YouTuber in this, like, we go to all these live events, and you know, we go through these like event management companies and touring companies, and that's right, Pat. So he was like, we just had a terrible time with this touring company where I was like, what are they even doing? I'll just do it myself. And they just took care of it himself to the point where he was like, oh, you know what? A lot of people need somebody like this doing what I'm doing for them, and I'm going to do that. So he started a touring company aside from Game Grumps and all the stuff that he does, their bands and whatever. Plus he has bands. Okay, yeah. So whatever. That's some information that I was aware of. And then all of a sudden, just happened to mention it on, like, again at the beginning of things. So I don't watch every episode. Aaron. So they're like just regular playing a game. They're not on screen, just normal Game Grumps. And they were like, well, we're not supposed to talk about it. So anyway, like we'll just say like the Backstreet Boys reunion tour. Like, just really, like, it's just dealing with this Backstreet Boys reunion tour. And I didn't realize they'd established before that that's what they're calling the COVID thing. Because if you are, a streamer or a YouTuber that actually makes money from YouTube, once you mention COVID, the algorithm says, nope, you don't get to make any money now. So it takes away all of your stuff. He sure is demonetized. That's the word. It demonetizes you, so instead of saying that, whenever they say, like, oh, when, the Backstreet Boys reunion tour is over, oh, when we're done with the Backstreet Boys reunion tour, and for several episodes, I fully thought that, let me go to my buttons. I fully thought that, oh my god, like, Aaron's doing, like, he's running the Backstreet Boys reunion tour, and it must be a real pain because they can't really do it with all the COVID stuff, so it's probably got be a big giant headache for somebody with, like, a new touring company and something as huge as the Backstreet Boys. Like, that's insane that he's doing that. That's not what he would normally do, right? Like, wow. And yeah, actual Backstreet Boys. So it wasn't for a little while before I realized, oh, I see what's going on. A little while, at least within 3 episodes, I'm going to say, where I'm like, they're not talking about the Backstreet Boys at all. Not at all. And then recently, recently, there was one where they were talking about the actual Backstreet Boys, and they were like, oh, which one's like the hottest Backstreet Boy? And they're naming Backstreet Boys. And I'm just like, what is happening right now? Like, these are all the wrong names, right? Am I crazy? These are like NSYNC names or something. I don't know what's happening here. Because, like Dan's my age, so he would know the names, right? And I'm going to go to the comments for once. Like, the comments are going to be lit up with people going, I can't believe they're saying the wrong, completely wrong. Like, they're getting a completely different band mixed up with the Backstreet Boys. They are. Not me. They are. I didn't hear them say you don't want to catch tickets. And it was like, I'm going through, and it was like, again, same thing. So I kept watching, and I'm like, am I insane? I think I'm insane. I was like, wait, no, I feel like he accidentally almost said one of the right names. But that's still, they didn't realize that. And again, it was like minutes and minutes passed before I realized New Kids on the Block is what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking they're talking about New Kids on the Block because I'm old and Dan is almost my age, so they must be talking about that, but Aaron is still just 30, so he's like, no, like, the boy band from my childhood is Backstreet Boys, and they are, still valid and reuniting, unlike the New Kids. And it was just like, why they're not saying Joey or Johnny Wahlberg. End of list. That was all the New Kids on the Block, and you can take that to the bank. So I don't know. In 2 ways, I was completely Jonathan and Danny. Jordan. Jordan Knight? All the KOTB Barbies. Cause step one, we can have lots of Blake and Tito. Oh man. It's the best live stream with the best comments. And everyone wants to say Tito, but only one person can say Tito. And it's the secret word of the day. You can only win if you say and play. And this ear is sticking it too far. In a most unusual way. Hey, do you want to talk about how sometimes the police just push people to the ground and then spray them in the face, even though nothing's literally happening? Like nothing is happening at all. And you know, remember how like the peace treaties and whatever the acts of war and stuff that say like, you know, you're not supposed to attack medical people and the press, and then they're just like, no deal, dog. We're just like crazy teens running amok with baseball bats in a Kevin Bacon movie, and we're just gonna push you to the ground. We're just gonna push people to the ground. What about that? What about that? Did you see my new mask? I think it's a great new mask, honestly. I'm probably just gonna wear it all the time and forever. Yeah. Just before the stream, they were Barbie dolls, Pat. Your toxic masculinity is just not gonna hold up here. Your toxic masculinity and toxic Christianity. Classic Pat. It was in my Instagram of a little video of the Vice News guys trying to cover. I assume it was Minneapolis, and they're like at a gas station, and dude is like got his press pass thing or press credentials, and he's like on his knees, just going like, "I'm at the press. I'm at the press. Just the press. I'm just the press. Just the press. Just the press." And the guy was like, "Get down, get down." And he's like, "Down." And he's like, "Get down." He's like, "I'm just the press. Like, I'm down, I'm down." And the guy like grabs him, just throws him to the ground. And he's like, "Okay." He's got his hands on the ground. He's like, "I'm with the press. Like, I'm with the press. Like, what do I do here? Like, I'm with the press. I'm with the press. Like, what do I do? I'm just covering this." And then this other dude just walks by and casually, wicked casually, just psh, and then keeps walking like you would see in only an 80s action movie, which again, it's the future now, so we know that all those super cool scenes where dudes were like, "I'm not even looking," and lay waste to some people because they were the bad guys is insane, because there is no just bad guys. And it really is like within my building, instead of calling the police, I should be able to call like, "Hey, we have a social services emergency," and or when the police show up and go like, "Hey, these people are screaming at each other. All right, they said they're going to stop. See you later." Like, no, you immediately send in the social services task force, because people just don't know how to live with each other or alone. People don't know how to live, and people need some sort of authority that can just be gentle but informative instead of violent and arm-breaky, murdery. Not a war, doesn't count. Stab, stab. Awesome video of, even in spite of all this, delightful black guy bringing a case of water. Hey, it's pretty hot, guys. You guys don't have to take it now, but there you go. I'm just saying. You deserve water. Everybody deserves water. You know, all lives get thirsty. Like, see you later, dogs. And just like, again, yeah, there's protesters, but just like a meme said or whatever, an inspirational poster, don't judge a protest by its most violent protesters the same way you don't judge a precinct of cops by its most violent cop, using their stuff against them. I totally did not mean to trail down that avenue, but yeah, that was one of the last things I watched right before the stream, because no matter what, you're just scrolling and you're constantly seeing things. Thankfully, there is a lot of people just giving speeches, saying important things. Yeah, that's better. It's not all negative. There's a world of positive stuff. What if we go to the drawing cam every once in a while? It's not all about my face. And of course, meanwhile, Captain Crazy Pants in the House of Power. The only good cut is a dead cop, which is RoboCop. Damn it. Theme song. Broke my train of thought. Theme song. Smash the thoughts I thought. Oh, yes. Captain Crazy in the Powerhouse. Whilst all this stuff is going down, I was like, oh, by the way, I'm just going to be over here making it illegal for gay and trans people to adopt kids. I know that in the other half of my day, I'm making sure that parents are being murdered and we're just having a bunch of orphan kids being left. I know. I'm telling them to beat the kids as well, and we're putting as many of them as we can in cages. But in a country where I've got a surplus of kids in cages and a surplus of parents that I'm killing off, you know what? Let's have less people adopting. Instead of making it more mandatory, let's make it harder and illegal for some people to take care. The nice people who understand what the world's about. Oh, it posts automatically, CTK. I realized last week it was weird, or the week before, on YouTube anyway. It doesn't post the whole thing right away. It takes time. Because I went to hit play and I'm just like, this is missing a full hour from the beginning. And it was the video game stream is what it was. So I'm like, the whole point of this was I made a new theme song, a new intro, a new all of this stuff. And it's not here. And then an hour later I checked back and then the whole 2.5 hours was there. So yeah, YouTube's a little bit slower. I think Twitch might put it right away. And Facebook, I don't think saves it. Maybe it does. I think you need a circle around this. Everybody needs a circle on the chest. Everybody needs a circle. Congratulations, you received 100 messages today with Restream Chat. Huzzah! Put your hands in the air. Wave them around, sir, as if you do not even care. There. All straight lines except for just some circles. Only a few. Only a few. Alright, you want to play that game, do ya? So copy, paste. I have a feeling that when I accidentally reset my tablet, that it didn't actually reconnect. It's doing that thing where it seems like it's working, but it's not actually working. Cause he's a RoboCop and he's part ankylosaur. He's covered in armor and so much more. He's got a jetpack and one gun arm. It's detachable and it's automatically gonna cause some harm. Oops. Cause he's a Green Lantern and he's part of a corps. Rooted toot toot toot. Rooted toot toot toot. We'll probably put him in space. Why wouldn't you put him in space? Let's put some shine on his face. Whoops. All right. Green Lantern green, glowing like a crazy machine. What does he look like again? That works. All right. What else? That's all my notes. Didn't take many notes. Speaking of the DC universe, I watched Justice League Dark 2? War of Apocalypse, I think it was called. I don't know. I always like those animated comic book movies. There's a bunch of it that I definitely was like, does this suck? This might suck. But I knew that in the end, Batman would still be the one that's like, oh, this is some kind of, he's playing some sort of time thing for sure. But only Batman would think of that. And could he possibly be? So it still kind of focuses around Constantine, a lot like the other Justice League Dark story. I don't know. Red, that is not what I picked. Well, I believe, I can't remember what the blood types are, but I know that there's like a universal donor, and I believe I was told I'm a universal receiver, which also was like, hey, that makes you kind of incompatible to give it to anybody, but you can take anybody's blood. So yeah, I'm a weird alien vampire, technically. All of your blood is up for grabs to me. All of it. Oh, Patrick. Patty Prue, he's got a joke for you. And if you wait a second, you'll have joke number 2. He's a zing machine. Goes a zing it ding. Do you know the Green Lantern Corps? This is the same song I keep singing, and I'll sing it 1,000 times more. I don't like these lines now. Oh, here's the thing. Somebody popped this. And honestly, I'm getting really tired of the like, hey, 2020, like another thing. Because at this point, at this specific point where it is like, I don't care, Murder Bees, fine. Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, like whatever, it's fine. Like right now, the biggest thing really is Black Lives Matter and how it is like, no, like this is humanity. This is everybody finding a way to be humans in the world without feeling the need to murder each other. So on top of that I'm like, extra dismiss, extra super dismiss was, what was this? Yeah, Cannibal Rats. Cannibal Rats was the new fear. Like, what's next? And I'm just like, trying not to, doing my best to not random Facebook vigilante nonsense. I'm just like, without saying anything except here, who cares? Who cares? Cannibal Rats to me means they're going to eat each other. And honestly, rats aren't cannibals? I'm pretty sure rats are already cannibals. And again, just like the, what? Police are racist? Like, no. We're just getting cameras on rats eating each other now, and we're just getting more cameras on the cops beating people for trying to pick up their own garbage. But yeah, maybe if they're getting, a real taste for like, no, I want to eat something that's alive, then yes, they're going to come in and start eating our faces. But I already worry about that with rats. So it's like, whatever rats are up to, unless they don't have another super plague to bring to Voltron together with COVID, to be super rat COVID, then good, let them eat each other. I'm fine with that. They'll either get over it, or like I said, hopefully they don't move up to eating, I don't know, people's dogs and then us. I think I'd still go rat meat before human meat. Yeah, I think I would. I mean, especially get it all heated up over the fire real nice. And as long as it's crispy enough, it'll get to, you know, the little sinewy legs and whatnot will just become like a little bit of bacon, or a very, you know, not meaty chicken wing. And again, more reasons why I'm like, I gotta eat less chicken, because I'm genuinely disgusted by the thought of having something's leg in my mouth. Or little arms. Oh, it definitely will taste like chicken. I mean, it'll taste like chicken that live in a sewer, but I think we all know that most chickens live stacked on top of each other, you know, with just a constant state of sewer all over them all the time. I'm not here to make people eat more meat. Yeah, when we had two rats, one of them definitely always attacked the other one, but I believe it was mostly in a sexual manner, and they loved cheesies, and yeah, little bits of fruit or whatever. This is what space looks like to me. Yeah, we just ended up getting feeder rats because they were cheaper. The lady at the pet store was like, "Oh, if you want to get a rat, just say that you're gonna feed it to a snake. Just say it to me. Like, why? What's happening? Because then it's $3 instead of $7. This is weird. This is weird. Just wanted to look over here. Didn't want to go home with one, but that's what happens when you align yourself with other people. It's like, hey, you want yourself a pet rat? You want a nice pet rat? I'll give you a discount on it as long as you promise you're not going to love it. As long as you say you're not going to love this thing and you're going to murder it, I will give it to you for almost half price. That's my deal today. Come on down to the pet store. Promise you don't love a thing, we'll give it to you for cheaper. Huh? Isn't that a deal? Tell me you're going to feed it to another thing you've already bought here. Well, sir, we're going to give you a free little mouse comb. They love it. They love it. Who wouldn't? Oh my God, who would love a little mouth comb? I mean, I'm probably too big for a mouth comb, but oh, just to sit here and just stroke my eyebrows, just my little eyebrows with a mouth comb. Oh wow, that would be a day at the spa. Can you order me up a mouth comb? You didn't just invent that, did you? That's a real thing, right? Oh, for the love of God, please, Amazon me a little mouth comb for my eyebrows. Or eyebrow comb's a thing? Oh wow, I just can't stop thinking about these luxurious eyebrows that I could totally have. Meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow. Guys. All right, we're not getting mouse combs, okay? No mouse combs for anybody. Oh my God, the things you gotta say. But I'm gonna say probably yes. Mouse combs are almost definitely real. Almost definitely real. What time is it? It's almost the end of the show. Let me just make some little stars here. Oh, it's off screen. Gonna make some little square stars. When you wish upon that star, it makes no difference who you might be. 'Cause if you've got a ring that's green, maybe you can Save the universe in between. Something else. Green Lantern scene. Oh my. Oops. No. Still ended up being a little more of a drawing than a stylized thing. Then we go to another layer. Minnie Mouse combing her hair. Mickey Mouse, he don't even care. Some reason Pluto's there. Nah, let's just do it. Wait. Cause he's the mighty Green Lantern ring. It's the power of knowing what this world is about. Watching some mosques scream lets me out. Making the object tool. Cause his name is John Stewart and he's up in space. Ta-da! Green Lantern. Ho ho ho. I mean, he is in space. Technically, he should have a glow around his body so that he doesn't suffocate. Right? I mean, I'm not a monster over here, am I? Late. So then There. A little glow to keep him from suffocating in space. Camera 1. Still wish I had to fix that headroom. But then you can see more feet room. I don't need that. I'll have to move it closer, and then we gotta move Milo. Can't do that on the fly. I mean, I can. There's too many things at once, though. But I believe it's after 10 o'clock. It's time for all good little stream watchers to go to bed. It's not 10 o'clock in Ontario, but it's time for people to go, I don't know, go look up all their feet perversions on the internet. But that's Jon Stewart. He's a black person, a black character. I really never draw black characters, and that's terrible. That's terrible. Why? Because I'm white, and I always look to myself for reference. Partially narcissism, partially because draw what you know, and this is what I know. Other than this thing over here, I don't look anything like the real Milo looked. I mean, I hate to acknowledge the fact that it's two separate things. There with the real one and then me, but I mean, look at me. I'm a big old square. That doesn't even make any sense. And, you haven't even seen my mouth for like a year now. I have a mouth. Remember when I had a mouth? You give me a mouth in the comic strip, so I guess that's okay. It is. It's fair. That's fair. Anyway, as per usual, no such thing as grownups.com. There's usually a podcast there. Probably do a new one soon. And also there's links to shirt designs and whatnot / merch designs, and the Instagram where I post all this stuff and I don't know, exact my revenge on political people through dumb little comic strips with a dumb little cat. And the book, speaking of comic strips, I went to go set that up for publishing, and they got rid of the square option. There used to be a square book option, and the dinosaur books are square, so I don't even know if I can reprint them. So it's just gone. So I'm like, well, this is the longest book I've ever made. So yeah, I got to go and reformat 80-some pages from square to rectangle somehow. And a bunch of the pages I did, and it looks great and it's fine. But the other 60 pages, I don't know. That's going to take some time and some effort. And I don't want to add more panels. I don't know. I'll figure something out. It does help in some cases. But in other cases, it is just like, this one really was meant to be a square. So it shouldn't be too huge of a deal. Eventually, there will be a book. Again, the world is opening up again. Soon, a farmer's market will be an option to sell things, but I'll get a surplus of stuff here that I can ship out in the mail and or just have it so you can order things from Amazon. Either way, every Tuesday, maybe every Tuesday and Wednesday, or Wednesday, I don't know. And plus, keep filling up my video game library, and I'll do more video game streams to keep myself from working on things all night long. Last week, same deal. Was just like I was going to do those as well, where I'm just like, seems inappropriate. Seems super inappropriate to just sit around playing video games while all this stuff is going on. So I'll just keep reading things and sharing things and learning things, being disgusted by things and horrified by things, but ultimately hoping and watching for and encouraging the positivity that's there, where people are like, yeah, no, we don't need to get beat down. Like, we can serve and protect each other a lot of the times. That money does need to go into all kinds of other services, so it doesn't raise maniacs who just want to jump and beat people for the sake of jumping and beating people, or because, hey, I finally get to beat down that color of people that I don't agree with. And I don't know, I can only imagine with better education, with better housing, with better all of the things that make people better people, we'd have better people, and, a better outcome for the world. I don't know. What am I going to do? Solve racism over here with an imaginary cat? I think that's probably the best way to solve racism. I mean, I'm a magical imaginary cat, and if Nikki is right, and Nikki is usually right, then if you can pull this off, then I'm sure this stream probably just solved racism. Probably? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it probably did. Meow. 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 Ripley checked. We still didn't solve racism. But hopefully we'll get closer. And anyway, everybody have a good night. Have a great sleep. Watch for the streams. I always post about them on the Instagram or the No Such Thing as Grown Ups Facebook. Gets fed from the Instagram. And I try my best to avoid Facebook because it's wicked toxic. Credits? Credits. I moved everything around. Bang! Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being a part of this. Is your shout. CPK and Space Scooty. Pat Proofs and Avocado Shake. And that other name I don't know how to say, cause it is gone by so long ago today. Oh yeah, I don't have a button for that.